You're a real estate agent and you want to create amazing content that helps you build a brand online and starts attracting more clients to you. Well, you are on the right video. These are the questions that you need to answer for yourself before you even start to put together a content strategy and before, for sure, you hit record on that iPhone. My name is Michael Harlin. I'm one of the co-founders here with Ground Zero. And since 2020, we have been able to build content systems for over 100 agents that has driven over $100 million in transactional revenue for those agents. So we have content frameworks that work. The whole goal of this channel is just to share the free information that we have put together for awesome agents like you who are coming across this video so they can get some really good value. So let's dive right into it. These are the questions that you need to know and ask and answer yourself before creating content. And real quick, the reason I want to preface this is because if your ideal client comes across you, but you look the same as everyone else, how are they able to make that connection and say, wow, you are meant for me and I'm meant for you. This seems like a great fit. So people can't make that connection to know that you're the right fit for them if you are sounding the same as everyone else. And we know in today's world, people are seeking connection more than ever. I mean, look at big box retailers. Like when they make a stand to say, put a piece of clothing in there or take this thing out, or they make things, people like boycott them. And it's because now more than ever, people are looking to shop and work with brands that they feel in alignment with in terms of connection and values and those sorts of things. So if you can put those out there, it just reinforces to people that I'm not working with anybody else because I value these things and have these, values, and so does this person. So yes, with going into this, what I want to do is I want to actually point out one more groundwork of thing. And it's actually a really good marketing piece that Simon Sinek, if you know who that is, came out with. And what it is like his golden circle of marketing. He thinks that the best companies with their marketing don't talk about what they do or how they do it. They talk about why they do it. And when you look at great companies that are marketing on another level, the Apples, the Nikes, they never talk about what their products are, the product dimensions and specifications are. They don't really even talk about how they made them. What they talk about is why they put so much time into this detail, why they made the shoe like this, why is they even created this company. And it reinforces that people are looking for connection. They're looking for inspiration. They want to work with brands like that. So one of the very first questions that you need to get really clear on for yourself as an agent in the first step with this is asking yourself simply as like, why do you do what you do? And there's an example that I show agents because whenever an agent onboards with us, we send them a brand questionnaire. And if you want that brand questionnaire, I'll leave it in the description below that you can click it and go through it. But one of the questions that we ask is, why do you do what you do? And some agents, just trying to fly through it real quick, will answer to help people buy and sell homes, right? What does that even mean? Like that's the what. That is what you do, is help people buy and sell homes. But that's not the why, what you do. If you, an agent, are going up against someone and you're the agent that says, well, I just do this because I want to help people buy and sell homes, versus there's an agent sitting right next to you that you're competing with saying like, well, why I do this is because, when I was a kid, my mom worked with an agent and the agent gave us a bad experience, and I saw what the impacts had on my mom. And I wanted to become an agent because I was inspired that I never wanted someone else to feel the way that my mom felt through this transaction. And the why I do this is because this is one of the biggest transactions in people's lives, and they deserve a very hands-on white glove experience. Who do you think that the person's going to work with? The person that just talks about the what, or the person that talks about the why? The person that talks about the why, because that person seems more invested in this person's success and all those different things. There's more connection there. So that's what we need to do. And I use this thing, and it's from this book that I read called Obsessed. It's a marketing book. It's by Emily Hayward. And it talks about that really when you're answering this question, it needs to end in death. That you're saying like, once it's okay. So real quick, we'll role play an example. Why do you love to do real estate? Because I like to buy and sell homes. Well, why is that important? Well, because it's like such a big transaction for people and they need guidance. Well, like, why do they need guidance? Well, because if they didn't have guidance and go through this, like, they can get screwed over and like bad things can happen. Well, like, why is that important? Well, because like this is the biggest asset that people ever buy. And then you keep peeling back the layers of why. Well, why? Well, why? And then eventually it ends in like, because we're all gonna die. And when you get to that point is when you know you got to the true root cause of why you do what you do. So this is one of the crucial questions that you got to answer yourself before you ever start creating content. is why do you do what you do? The second thing is what are the values of your brand? Like actually define it, not your brokerage's values, not your team leader's values. What are your values that you bring to every transaction and bring daily into your business? And how do you are going to articulate these? But we need to get clear on what the actual values are. I'm not going to spend too much time in that one. The third one is what are the themes that you want people to associate you with? What are the 3 to 4 marketing messages that you want to be known for? That when people think of you, they think of this, 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 and this. Like for us, for example, here at Ground Zero, if you go through a lot of our content, it's the same themes that get repeated. It's be omnipresent. Don't just be on one platform. Be everywhere that your clients are. Distribution is extremely important. Don't just start creating content to create content. Build a strong foundation and understand your brand voice and who your clients are. These are the themes that are constantly repeated everywhere, because when people think of Ground Zero, that's what we want them to think of. And so we create content intentionally to shape people in the way that they think. So if you have these 3 to 4 things that you've identified that like, hey, when someone mentions my real estate brokerage or brand, I want them to know that it's white glove service. It's that luxury isn't a price point, it's a level of service. And I want people to know that I'm the hardest working agent. Well, then that means that like 70 to 80% of your content needs to be reinforcing those messages. And this is where the problem comes in, is like, on a side note, is you will probably get bored of your own content way before other people will. Like one of the things that we get is finally like month 3, month 4, we're shooting with an agent. They're like, I feel like this is all I talk about. And I'm like, yeah, dude, that's like magic to my ears, music to my ears when someone tells me that. And it's because we are focusing on the right messages that we want their audience to know. So dial those in. Know what are the 3 to 4 things that you want people to associate your brand with. And the last one is who is it that you really want to work with? If you can't create content that attracts your ideal client if you've never really identified who your ideal client is. Now that we know who the person is that we are creating the content for, and we know our messages, we can figure out like what is the best way to format this message that's actually going to get this ideal client that you've defined. Stop scrolling and pay attention to your content and start building a relationship with you. But you can't do that if you don't get clear on who the ideal client is that you actually want to help. So those are the 4 questions that you have got to answer before you start creating content. It'll save you so much time. It'll speed ramp your results, helping you get there faster. So again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below, send us a message, and send us more messages. And then after you send us a message, send us another message. But if you got some questions, drop them down in the comments below. We appreciate you for watching this video. Again, we are trying to create great content that great agents can come to and get some good tips on how to better stand out online. So thank you.